Hello again, everybody. Vince here from Hudson Bonsai. Today I've got a little forest planting of white spruce. This is potted in one of my own pots that I make here. It's concrete reinforced with steel and then painted to hopefully look like a slab of stone. There was originally 5 trees in this planting. There was a small 5th tree right about here, and that tree unfortunately died. So in the coming spring I have more seedlings. I'll put another small seedling over here just to have a 5th tree. There is actually 5 trunks, which is an odd number, which is kind of what you go for with a forest or a group planting, but it does divide fairly high, and when you look at the base of the planting, it's still 4 trees. This rock needs to actually get buried a little bit deeper in there as well, but those are all details that I'm not super worried about at this point. This is going to be my principal tree, so it's going to be the tallest. Right now this one's about equal height, and not really certain how far I want to take this back. I may even just allow this to grow and then create a dead top on it. I will try to shorten this tree a little bit today. Also, these 2 trees here are pretty much equal height. I may try to change that a little bit, shorten one a little bit more than the other. But for the most part, I'm going to be trying to eliminate all of these flaws, all these groups of 3 or more, and maybe try to compact a lot of these branches. Overall, it's not a terrible size for the silhouette, but I don't really want these primary branches actually reaching out to that point. I want to get some more ramification before I get, to that actual silhouette. I'm intending this side to be a little larger, this to be more vertical, and hopefully get the apex to kind of point in this direction slightly. So I'll go ahead and get started on the work, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Well, I hope that's close enough so you can kind of see what I'm doing. The first thing I'm going to do is just go through this whole tree and just clean the branches. I really don't think that there's any branches on this tree that I really need to take off completely, at least not any primary branches, no branches from the trunk. There are a few. This is very nearly a bar branch right here, but I'm expecting in the long run that these branches that I've left growing towards the center, I'm going to let them grow as long as they will and thicken up, and then turn them into deadwood so that there is some dead branches in the center of here, just kind of showing the fact that yes, indeed, they would get shaded out over time and die, but that tree would have been capable of growing that when it was, when it was younger and the trees weren't so close together. So, like I say, that, like a branch there that maybe I would ordinarily cut off, I have this crazy idea, and I'm going to try to make it work. Really, I guess that's about it. Back here I got another one that's really a bar branch. I may decide to take one of those off, but I don't think so at this point. If it starts to swell, I can always come out with my trimmers and prune that off. I keep a pretty close eye on all my trees. So anyway, get to work here. Cluster of 3, got a branch on that side, so I've taken that one off. There's another branch, no problems there. Again, come out to the tip, I got 3, and the last branch is on this side. That's the one I want to remove. Same situation here, take off the one on the inside this time. And keep here, and keep the branch that's growing outwards. Try to do this first bit of work. Here's an upward growing branch. Go ahead and take that off as quickly as I can, and then I'll take a look inside and be a little bit more careful when I look at trying to compact a few of these branches. Here's one growing right off the bottom. Don't want that. I'm going straight up there. Again, I got one going straight down. Take that off. Trying to develop a nice alternating branch pattern. So the tree is actually influencing how I'm doing this pruning. I'm not looking at any kind of final design at this point. I'm just objectively trying to leave the branches that make the most sense. They're going to leave the best structure for the future. And after that work is done, I'll take a little bit closer of a look at what I actually, want the tree to look like. Like I said, right now I'm just letting the tree tell me which branches I should be removing. A little bird just flew in the window to say hello. These trees started out this year as just little seedlings. I guess I shouldn't say little, not much smaller than they are now, but just ordinary bulk seedlings that I bought from an online nursery, and I potted them into this pot. As I said, it's one of the pots that I make myself, and it's potted in a standard 1-1-1 mix that I use for all conifers, which is 1 part pumice, 1 part akadama, and 1 part lava. And then I covered the entire thing with shredded sphagnum moss and shredded collected green moss. The moss is starting to grow in now. The sphagnum moss is really heavy on this because I needed to hold the slope of the soil. we've been getting so much rain lately that you can actually see on the surface all of the fungal activity that's going on in there. And the trees are all growing well. I'm doing this pruning now because this year's flush of growth is all hardened off. On most of the branches you can already see the buds that are being set up for next year's growth, so that'll inform me on, you know, how far I can cut any of these tips that I want to cut back. Because of course you need to cut them to a place where there's a bud formed, or next year that branch will not grow and you just have a dead branch. Excuse me. Is it quite hot in here? Sweating quite a bit today. The humidity is just through the roof. We've had pretty much non-stop rain for weeks now. I'm sure a lot of other people have got the same problem. And it's supposed to rain more this afternoon. Well, the nice part about it is I haven't watered a tree in at least a week. A lot of these branches were wired when I repotted it, just to, you know, kind of get them going in the right direction. And I don't really think any of those wires are ready to come off at this point. If I feel the need to put new wires on, I'll kind of assess whether or not the old wires are ready to come off. More. Little buds popping off the trunk here. Don't want those. I believe that is going to be. Spoke too soon. Spider. Oh, you're back. What do you want? You're not going to get out that way. You better go back the way you came. Cute little guy. I believe that's the same bird that was in here a minute ago. Might have to go over and open that door. Oh, no, he found the window. One of my fans. I should be pretty close to the front. Like I say, I've gone through now and kind of eliminated pretty much. There are still some whorls at the top of these trees, but I find with spruce that in the apex, it generally looks a little nicer if there's too many branches. So I'll generally leave more branches than I would like in the apex of the tree. Can always be reduced later on. Still see there's a bar branch here. But I think that's okay at this point in development. So now I'm going to see if there's any branches that I think that I would like to, or I feel comfortable with reducing their lengths, and I'll try to reduce the length of a few of those apexes. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and take it right down to there. I'm also going to remove this strong branch on the inside. These little buds here will form a new little apex. And this branch should be wired down, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. So next, this one's okay. So this is the next piece that I would be looking at reducing, and as I said earlier, maybe this, I'll leave it to grow a bit and then reduce the top to dead wood and have a small dead apex back here. This other one beside it, I'll go ahead and reduce the length of it, or the height of it. This branch here. Some of these I'm going to be sacrificing a little bit of ramification just to shorten it up. Which also has got a bit, it's kind of growing straight up. I'm going to take that out now. Which actually shows me that it's got one growing straight down too. So that's gone. Here as well, this is a very weak little branch here. Reduce back some of these tips here. You can see little buds along the length of these extensions. Trying to make sure that I'm leaving at least one, so that I'll get some new growth next year. Problem is the buds aren't showing themselves yet, and I'm not going to touch those ones at this point. I'll wait another few weeks until those buds start to show themselves, and then shorten those branches back. Like I said, this is the side I really want to compact in, and it's not really ready. Reduce these back to some existing branches.
Ben?
Yeah.
Hey.
Alright, well, I've kind of accomplished what I was hoping to accomplish with this tree. You know, nothing too drastic. I mean, I took off a fair amount of foliage here. It's really why I'm not going to go any further with this tree today. It still has a lot of work to do, but I think kind of tamed down some of the things. I really don't like that this apex is equal to this one, but as I said, I'm hoping to have this eventually be a deadwood apex up here, which I think will look pretty cool. It'll kind of fill in that negative space back there. I managed to compact this side a bit, and I'll be looking to grow this side out a little more in the future. But you know, the bonsai's never finished, and you know, this one holds true to that. I'll keep working at it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Got a lot more videos. Thank you. Bye. I thought I'd just take you in for a little bit closer of a look at this pot. I think this is a fairly decent one. I make quite a few of these. I sell them. If you're interested in any, you can comment. Well, kind of the advantage of a pot like this is the fact that, as you can see, there's an air gap underneath, and there's drainage holes and tie down holes. which is something that you don't get with a natural stone. It's fairly convincing. This one is pretty round, which is, you know, not actually the way I typically make them, but I liked this one quite a bit, so I went ahead and used it myself. Just thought I'd throw that in there. So here's another one of those slab pots that I make. Like I say, it's concrete that's reinforced with steel wires, and it's shaped and then hand painted by myself with a few layers and then sealed with a water sealer. I've had some of these outside for quite a while, and you know, a couple of seasons, and they don't seem to break down too bad. Like I say, you got drainage holes and tie down holes, which is something you don't get with a real stone slab. That's how the bottom looks. You can see the feet are molded right into the form. That keeps it up off of the surface of the bench. It's better for aeration and drainage. They're pretty nice though, I think. Like I said, I have quite a few of these. I make them pretty regularly and sell as many as I can. If you like it, comment and I'll let you know where you can find one.